So as you guys have noticed, I've got a diversity of different bullets that I do shoot. I use them for different applications, and I do have preferences. When you're looking at the 6mm projectiles, I am kind of fond, and I've got a lot of experience shooting the 105 grain AMAX bullets made by Hornady. They got a BC of 500, and I've gotten incredible results with these things. There's been times at 1100 yards that I was able to get them all inside a credit card pretty consistently. That's a pretty good shooting bullet. That's something that we were doing way before we were recording anything on camera, and that's a tricky thing to accomplish, but if you've got zero wind, you're up in the mountains with a thin atmosphere, you can do some incredible things with these target bullets. The Sierras are supposed to be very good as well, but I'm fond of the AMAX bullets when it comes to the 6mm bullets. For varmint hunting, I actually do still I stick with one bullet generally. These AMAXs fly very straight. They're very good at bucking the wind, so I will use these for varmint hunting. I could use something lighter like a 58 grain VMAX, but with the wind possibility and things like that, I still prefer, they're a little bit more money or whatever, but I have more surety of making a hit at longer distances, even if there's wind, just because of the dramatically increased ballistic coefficient over lighter varmint designs. So that's my personal preference. A lot of these other varmint style bullets are very good bullets indeed. But I've just kind of grown accustomed to getting set up with one bullet. That way you can master that particular bullet and become an expert at its flight characteristics, and you can just hit stuff better. If I was going to be more of a deer hunting guy, I do use 100 grain Speer boat tail soft points. They don't have quite the BC, but they're going to hold together better. Or I would use some more hunting designed bullet, especially in a lighter caliber like this. In the 7mm, I've tried all kinds of stuff. These fly very good, these Hornadys. I actually have been using these things. They're cheap. I got a big pile of them and I'm running low on them now. These are just 175 grain bullets. That's what I use for large game hunting and stuff like that. And sometimes I'll use 150 grain Nosler partitions is what I prefer in 7mm for hunting applications. There are some really good bullets available as well, like we talked about for my extreme range deal. I'm going to be using these, like I mentioned earlier. This is an incredible target bullet for extreme long range target shooting. The 7mm 195 grain Elite Hunters made by Berger. And I'm going to be employing those in my 7mm-300 Winchester Magnum Wildcat cartridge that I had Paul McCoy build for me. And the idea there is to go 2,000, maybe 3,000 meters with that. We're going to see how far we can push it. Now, it's true that these Alcos, if I wasn't already equipped with that other bullet, I would seriously give these a shot. These are quite a bit better on the ballistic coefficient. They are a little more expensive. But if you're starting from scratch and you haven't already got a rifle all set up for a particular bullet or load combination, some of these Alcos here are going to give you the ballistic coefficients in the 8 and 900s, which is incredible. So that's something that you really should take a stern look at, and I might even switch over to those after I give these 195s a good try. Of course, I use 150 full metal jackets in most of my military style rifles, my FALs, my AR-10, stuff like that. That's a good bullet for all around. They're good for just the all-purpose deal. They're not like a long range bullet per se, but they do fine for all purposes. These are kind of what I have been using in the past in my bolt action 308 varmint contour rifle with the 1 in 12 twist, the 168 grain 30 caliber Bergers. These fly very good. They're an incredibly well designed bullet. They're very good quality control. However, now that we do have the option of the Alco 168s, where are we at? The 168 grain Alco here with the ballistic coefficient of like 613 as opposed to these guys being in the mid 400s. I'm absolutely going to switch over to the Alco in that bolt action rifle that I do use for longer ranges. And I'm gonna see if I can't dominate with the 308 out to maybe 1,200 yards, maybe a little farther, rather than kind of struggling at those distances with something like this. These are a great bullet as well, but I think I'm going to discontinue using those, especially in light that we have the Berger and the Alco to go with. These Noslers really are a good choice. If you're a hunter, a serious hunter guy, these Noslers are going to give you incredible terminal performance in any caliber. As you can see here, these are for the .338 caliber. And these are going to give you that terminal performance you're going to need to take out large game. You definitely want to have a bullet that's going to hold together and expand in a controlled fashion. So I would strongly recommend the use of something like a Nosler or some equivalent premium hunting bullet. If you're going to be a hunting guy, that's just a good way to go. I have tried these. These are kind of a target bullet, the Hornady boat tail hollow points. However, I do prefer the Sierra Match Kings. The 300 grain Match Kings are quite a common deal. A lot of folks have been using it for a long time, and I really did set up my data for those, but they fly incredibly well. You can see some of the videos we did shooting these things. We shot them out to 1,800 meters and did some incredible things with them. They got a good ballistic coefficient in the mid 700s. Quite the bullet for sure. If you're shooting a 50 cal, I think the 50 caliber 750 grain AMAXs, I don't have one on the table here, that's an incredible way to go if you're going to be doing long range target shooting. They're very expensive. These Barnes bullets are actually very good for hard target interdiction purposes. They're really solid. You have incredible penetration on hard targets with these things. A lot of guys kind of use bullets similar to this for scud hunting back in the day. M8 API, that's kind of a special purpose bullet for combat applications. But there's a whole lot of cool stuff to choose from, guys. You definitely probably want to check out some of this new stuff that's on the market, like these Alco bullets if you haven't seen them. Definitely worth a look at. But that's my personal preferences in a nutshell for just a couple of the common calibers that I shoot the most. I mostly shoot the 6mm, the 7mm, and the 30 cals, and the 338. There's a lot of other calibers out there, but this is just generally representative of kind of what I look for when I choose my own bullets for whatever my applications are. Look at how shiny and pointy they are. What do you think of that? Pretty cinematic, eh?
So what is those? What are those right there?
Those are aluminum tips. Which is the pokiest of all bullets, is the question.
The pokiest of all bullets, I would say, is going to be based upon the velocity of impact, and whether or not it's either pokes or smashes. Like the ones with the aluminum tip or the metal tip are going to travel with far more likelihood of a puncture instead of a smashing, and like the serrated and open-ended hollow pointed bullet.
And the pointiest of all these bullets is this one right here, the pointy bullet. See? With the pointy in it. Hold on, wait, this is in the way here. This is the Turbomatic 50 caliber pointiness. Very good. This one actually has flamage on the back. If you can see, there's flamage back here. When this hits, it explodes. Did you know this? Incendiary. When that hits, there's stuff on there that goes poof. Explodable. This is solid alloy. So it's not lead, but it'll be very good for penetration.